them. So the managing authority, the joint secretariat team, for sure your project lead partner, which will be, let's say, in the center. And then the national contact points, your national controllers, and the national authorities. The point here is that the actors that will be in your territories are the national contact points and your national controllers. So in case of specific issue related to the implementation of your project, the local legislation, or the claim of cost according to national regulation, we invite you to go through the national authorities and the national controllers. Then the program bodies, for sure, we are here available to help you in the day-to-day management. Keep in mind that national controller events are being held in all territories. So the idea is that today we will not go in deep in project expenditure and in eligibility issues. We don't want to focus the meeting of today on those aspects because your controller are not here. National seminars are being implemented, and you can inform your controller, if already under selection, about those events. Okay. So concerning the project management team, you know that a cooperation project is composed of the lead partner team, which is in charge of the global coordination, with a financial manager in charge of the aspect related to the lead partner cost and also to the global project conception. After that, the majority of you, are project partners, so you are in charge of your activities according to the agreed application form. In case of deviation, in case of change, in case of major event, inform your lead partner, because he will always be the key contact for your project officer. Okay, so this is, you have always to keep them informed of everything, and other key profiles have been designated. So they are all described in the manual. So the communication officer, the result amplification coordinator, the carbon footprint coordinator, and the person in charge of data control. Those persons are stated in a specific section of GEMS, which is under the contracting section, project managers. In case of change of one of those persons, the email, the contact, the phone, you can modify it directly, but please inform your project officer, because those persons will be in very regular contact with the GS, okay? And then, well, among the global partnership, you have the program authorities, which are there to assist you. Okay. Concerning the project management, let's say the key principle that will guide you during your cooperation process. So the cooperation project is has to be organized around a dynamic of communication. So please put in place from the very beginning a smooth communication flow between you, the lead partner team, and all your partners. Try to be available, to keep in touch with your partnership very regularly in order to avoid a bad surprise. The co-decision is also a key point. It's not a bottom-up approach, a top-down approach, sorry. So consensus and agreement among the partnership is very, very important. And as explained yesterday by Pulsio, our coordinator, let's say that in some way the project officer is part of your team. So try to keep him informed also of every main step, of every unforeseen situation or change that you are envisaging, things, even if they are under decision, but keep them informed because they can help you in order to ease the administrative steps or to give you advice on how you can implement or how you can adjust your work plan or your activities. Okay, so please feel free to communicate with them. And finally, Those principles, let's say, that you should integrate, I think, among your day-to-day activities are in parallel with program principles. And among those principles, we have sustainable growth, we have gender equality, we have traceability of cost, we have prevention of conflict of interest, and fight against fraud. So those are aspects that the ETC programs and the MED programs compromise to spread out. And in this sense, you are like, let's say, the ambassadors of the program in this aspect. So you should integrate also those principles among your practices and keep informed. For instance, concerning the fight against fraud, we have a dedicated page on the website in which you can find all the contact, all the behavior you can have face to face any specific situation that could sound not normal. So please do not hesitate to go and to have a look on this page, because it's also very, very important. And then the other aspect will be through the implementation of your activities. Okay. Non, ça marche pas. Okay. Then concerning the key documents, non, juste avant. Ça met du temps à arrêter. Concerning the key documents, let's say the audit trail of your project, we try to make a list of the key points you should have always updated, available for control, for your follow-up. So from one side, you have the partners and the lead partners key documents. So I mentioned the contractual documents and all updated version or addenda. You have to be informed and to keep trace of all the changes that can occur on your project. There is also the rules of procedure, the key production, and for sure the consolidated application form, because you know that in case of change, your controller must be informed of any deviation. So please try to keep those documents updated and available for your follow-up and for your controllers. And if you still have some doubt, we already invited you to read in depth the manual before the meeting. So I think that the majority of questions were answered through this reading. And keep in mind that there is a term of reference for which you applied. So this is the red line you have to follow. And then we are developing a set of tools for controller, for cost reporting, user manual for the systems that were presented yesterday by our colleagues. So on our website, in the English page, in project tools, you have those documents where you should go very regularly. And for the program manual, for instance, an updated version, it is already the 8th version. So an updated version will be soon presented with the full parts that were missing in the manual. So we hope that with this final document, we answer to all eventual doubts. Okay. No. Concerning the key tool, I don't come again, I don't go back to them because yesterday they were presented. If you have any question, you know the referent persons. So it's the communication and IT team. They are available here to help you. And for sure, keep Basecamp active and use James with very regular in a very regular way. Do not wait the last minute for filling in the information there. Concerning the lead partner duties, I don't go in deep in that. The subsidy contract states all your legal obligation, But let's say that today we wanted to insist on the specific management and coordination system that you should put in place from the very beginning. So be clear with the task of everyone, be clear with the deadlines, because your partner can think that the deadline in the contract is a deadline to be applied to the partner, but as lead partner, you may anticipate certain steps, for instance, for cost reporting or for the delivery of your main human production. Keep in mind the project financial performance, because we depend of your implementation. So the program alone doesn't implement anything. You are the key entry in the process. So keep in mind the financial performance, and please always refer to the lead partner and to the project officer in case of that. So, well, as lead partner, I already summarized, but the key: get informed and inform. Once this flow is going on, everything will go smoothly. Concerning project partner duties, so the idea is that you are part of a cooperation project, so don't work in your side. Communicate on what you are implementing, of any difficulties. Get informed about program rules, for instance, for the separate accounting system, for the audit trail you must keep, and be responsive. Be responsive to your lead partner requests, be responsive because generally they come from the GS. So be responsive to that, and always try to be connected to your project. The idea is to maintain new activity among a more global aspect. Okay, so now I will give the floor to my colleague for the more detailed information on pre-contracting. Thank you.
Pascal, please.
Yes, good morning, everybody. So I am Pascal, and I am one of the project officers that are here to help you during the whole implementation of your projects. And I will talk about the initial steps where you are right in now. So, well, thanks to the working tools that we have, namely the pre-contracting check-read Excel that the lead partners must know already, and as well the GEMS online monitoring tool, you are working on the points to clarify that are the fulfillment of conditions for some of the projects that had conditions, the cleanup of the application form on certain points such as partner details, bank details, and so on, and also the provision of the additional documentation or updated documentation. Now on the, so these documents, the pre-contracting check read is part of the audit trail, and it will be put on GEMS by the Joint Secretariat so that then the national controllers can access it during their verification. So it's an important tool to have really cleaned. And now talking about the projects on the 56 approved, for now we have almost 20 that have clarified almost everything and that are already working on the cleaning of their application form. So now we are trying, we will ask you to try to be as reactive as possible, and from our side also. So in order to speed up the process and try to move to the signature of the contractual documents. Of course, all the project officers are available for any question, including questions on investments and stated issues. Regarding the stated, we had last month's dedicated seminar, and the presentation was sent to all the lead partners. So and it's also on the website, yes. Now, focus on where to upload the documents. That is important for the audit trail and also to ensure the eligibility of expenditures. So here, as you can see in the application annex section, you must upload the updated declarations for partners and associated partners, if this is the case. The also updated de minimis declarations, and as well the documentation related to investment. You have one section per investment. And yes, these documents will be, you will have to upload them once the application form is submitted. So first you clean up the application form, then you submit it, and then you will be able to upload the documents. And a second focus is on the project privileges section that you can see here. It's very important because it can give the necessary access to the lead partners and the partners according to their responsibilities. The first part, as you see, called application form users, is concerns who will manage the project follow-up. So mainly the lead partner staff. It will give you the possibility to modify the application form, to open project report, and so on. And the second part is dedicated. There is one per partner, so that is where you will enter the manager email, so that the partner can have access to its own report. You will have to put the edit mode, so the partner can enter whatever is needed. And then you have to add as well, but this is to be seen during your steering committee, the lead partner also in the partner section, because the lead partner has to see the data you enter for the reporting package. Yes, and the sensitive data that you can see here will be explained later on by Axel. Now, regarding the contracting phase, so namely the signature of the documents, well, you have two documents. The first one is the partnership agreement that has to be signed between the lead partner and the project partners. Here we have to insist on the importance of having all the same format for all signatories, the same format of signature. So it can be either by hand or electronically, but it has to be the same for everybody. We recommend to use the electronic signature because it's quicker and easier. So maybe what you can do as lead partner is to ask all your partners to see if it's possible. And then if one of you, it can be the lead partner or one partner that has the Adobe Sign license, for instance, you can use this. Or get the Adobe Sign license because it's eligible, it's covered by the Office and Administrative Flat Rate. Otherwise, then it has to be signed manually by all partners. And then the second document is the subsidy contract that here is signed between the lead partner and the program, the managing authority. Here also we encourage the quicker and easier solution. And in this case, the lead partner doesn't need to have the Adobe Sign software because we will take care of this and we will send you a tutorial on how to sign the document. And all these documents then will be uploaded in GEMS by the Joint Secretariat. So this was for the signature of the contractual documents, and then you have also the project startup. So once all these steps are done, you will get the payment of the preparation cost. For this, you don't have anything to do. You will receive a total of 37,000 euros per project. The second step is also the selection of the controller, which is really important to start as soon as possible. Depending on the country you are coming from, you have a centralized system or a decentralized system, but Julia will explain this part later on, so I won't go into detail for this. And then you have to have your project steering committee within 3 months after the project starts. In the manual, you have the minimum content that you should be in the first minutes of your steering committee. We are working on a kind of template to give you some tips to have the first steering committee not forgetting any key points, but it will be put on our website. But for now, if you have question, you still can reach your project officer since this document is not ready and you already have the manual. And then, well, I think that's it for the initial steps. And now it's time to go to the question and answers session.
Yeah.
Do we have any question?
Il y en a donc j'ai plus de réponses. Only yes, the event is being recorded, and yesterday record will be put on the website by our colleagues today. So for the general question we get on those point, and then so we go now into details on the question we have here.
Yes, there is a question regarding the problem of access to login into GEMS. No, you should not email the general Interact email, but ours. It's the support. I have it on the slides here. Just wait a minute. It's support at Interact Euromed. Yes, it's it's here. Sorry. Support at interreguromed.eu. So all your questions regarding logging of different on Basecamp, on GEMS, problems with the website, you can use this email or the general email of the program, and we will manage it. The program at interreguromed.eu email.
Yeah, I would like to add, because of course, when you enter on the system on GEMS, there's a link to the manual of the project of the system, where there's a link that is this GEMS Interact, but this is not adapted to every single program. So for partners of our program, they have to contact our program. So just please, if you have any question, just write support@interreguromed.eu. Do not write to the other email address.
Yes, because it's the generic address of Interact that is working on the development of GEMS for all the programs, and the access rights are dealt with within the program. Another question is when will the subsidy contracts be signed? When you will have finished the pre-contracting phase. This is the answer. So once you finalize and you clarify everything in the pre-contracting Excel grid, then you move those changes into the application. Your project officer will open the application form. You move all these changes in the application form. You submit the application form revised. Your project officer checks if everything is okay. And if everything is okay, it approves the modifications. He or she approves the modifications. And then we will send you the partnership agreement and subsidy contract. We have a very small program now in issuing the partnership agreements with technical problem, which is now under resolution by the GEMS technicians. So for those that have already completed all this step, and we have about 4 or 5 projects already, it will come in a very few days. About the access to yesterday's recording, you will have everything, if not today, tomorrow, with all the recordings on the event page on our website. We were waiting to have all 2 days together to publish, and the PowerPoint presentations and the recording. are we covering state aid in this session? We have there are two questions. And regarding state aid check, if the potential state aid risk under GBER is lifted for specific activities, does that mean the partner should go for the minimis declaration or not necessarily?
Well, concerning state aid, we will not, this is not the seminar dedicated to state aid. There is already one that was implemented by our colleagues and which is available online. Then for your specific issue, you must tackle them with your project officer, and we are generally there also to participate to the meetings you can have. So please, your microphone.
A aquisição do formador não é. Formador não é, mas.
Please.
Your microphone, please. So, well, the idea is that today we limit the meeting to the presentation of how to implement your project. In case of specific question, please go to your project officer. Concerning GBER, concerning the minimis, it's not compulsory. You have another scheme which is GBER. And you should study with your lead partner and with your product officer under which scheme you should go.
Yes, and if the state aid risk has been eliminated by the project officers and financial officers and you during the pre-conducting phase, this means that you don't go in GBER or in de minimis, nothing at all, if the state aid risk is eliminated. Okay, any other? No. Yes. You recommended to use EDES and Arachne for fraud detection. Can you clarify?
Yeah, you don't have to use this system for fraud detection. We use it for fraud detection. So the idea is that Arachne is a tool provided by the Commission to check contracts, external contracts, and well, let's say risk related to specific partners and specific contractors, depending on the context in which the contracts are awarded. But you don't have to make any check. We will use EDES and Arachne from the GS side. You only have to know that the data the product data are to be published in this tool, and they are used only by our program. Then there are other questions, but we will go in deep on the detail of eligibility afterward. So I publish them, but we will not answer right now. Concerning the steering committee meeting, there is one question about if it's spread in different meetings. It's not the more practical way, but it's fine. Try to condense everything in a final document at the end. But yes, there is no specific format imposed.
Sorry, I wanted to add that it can be done online, because we ask you to do this within 3 months. So if you don't have the occasion to meet physically, it can be done online, of course.
There is no, it's not a compulsory to have it in person. The fact is to discuss and clarify the minimum information we need, which is in the manual, during this steering committee, either online or in person. So, but it's important to do it in the first 3 months, and this means from the start of the project started officially on the 1st of January, so this means by the end of March. Okay, we don't have any other questions for this section. Please keep the questions linked to the session we have just discussed, because we will discuss the other topics afterwards. So probably we will answer to your questions before you ask for them. So let's go to the reporting process now with Axel.
Hello, everyone. I'm Axel Rodriguez. I'm one of the members of the Joint Secretariat. I'm project officer, as my colleague Pascal, who presented a while ago. And in this session, I'm going to present the reporting process. It's a big part of the reporting process is already present in the program manual. if you check the section 2, chapter E, project reporting and joint secretariat monitoring, there you will find all the details on project reporting. So I won't repeat again everything that is in the manual, but I will basically highlight the main technical aspects. There will be a lot of slides, there will be a lot of information. Some of the information I will go quite quickly over it, but you can always check afterwards the slides because they will be made available for you. So, first of all, we offer as a program a series of tools for the reporting procedure. The reporting procedure is all the process through which you present your activities and you declare your expenditures during the life of the project. And for you to be able to report all that, we offered you the system GEMS, where you can present your activity reporting and the financial reporting, and you can declare your expenditures. We have also Basecamp, where you have your daily exchanges. We also see like the working version of your documents. You present your deliverables, your outputs as a first step before their publication. You also have the project website at your disposal. It will arrive soon, where you will have there all your validated key deliverables, all news, events of the projects, different forms that you can develop through it. And also, finally, you have all the manual, tutorial, and templates that have been and are still being written by the program, and where you will find all the information on the procedures and rules of the project, of the life of the project. And of course, we are also at your disposal for questions, us and also the national contact points. So, as you know, the life of the project is divided. The implementation of the project is divided in several reporting periods. During the lifetime of the project, each of those periods lasts 6 months. After each 6 months period of the life of implementation of the project, you have 3 additional months for reporting everything that has been done during that period, and also to include all the expenditures that have been done during that period, or also during previous periods, but that have not been declared before. This repeats all through the life of the project until the end of the project. But the last period is a 9-month period. And after that 9-month period, you don't have extra 3 months for reporting. Everything, the end of the activities and the reporting must be done during this 9-month period. And at the end of this 9-month period, you also must present the last reporting package, which will include all your activities and all your expenditures during the life of the project. If you check your GEMS profile, the GEMS profile of your project, there's one section that is project reporting schedule, in which you will be able to find all the dates at which you must present the project report for each of the periods of the project. Here you see a difference, only finance or both. This depends on if the reporting period is a partial reporting or a full reporting. I will go through it a bit later. This, of course, is an example. This is only for a 33 months project. Of course, for a 27 months project, it will be shorter. So here you can find a general overview of the reporting procedure. So after the 6 months of the implementation of the project, each partner fills and submits its partner report, including the summary of the activities developed through the period, and also declares the expenditures that have been incurred during that period. Then we have on the activity side, the lead partner collects all the information that has been presented by all the project partners. And from the finance side, financial side, the national controllers check the expenditures and present their national controller certificate and report. Once the lead partner has gathered all the information and all the expenditures of the period has been certified, the lead partner presents a project report, including all the financial and activity information, and issues a payment claim that is a declaration from the lead partner in which the lead partner declares that he has executed its duties as lead partner and requests the reimbursement of the payments that have been included in the project report. At the same time, for the key deliverables, I will also go through it later, but the lead partner presents the partner who has been developing them presents them on Basecamp, and the JES validates them before they are published on GEMS for subsequent publication. So, as I was saying, after each reporting period, you have the partner report from the partners declaring cost. Not all it's not mandatory for a partner to declare costs during a period. But of course, we also evaluate the evolution of the consumption, financial consumption of the partner. So each partner claiming costs presents one partner report and one national certificate and report, at least. And the lead partner must submit in GEMS a reporting package that is composed by the project report, that its content changes depending on if it's partial reporting or full reporting. I will explain in detail later. A payment claim, a report on ineligible expenditures if relevant, if there's some corrections to inform to the JS, and also the control package with all the control documents related to the control of the certification of the expenditures. I will start with the first step, the project partners in the reporting period. Here you can find all its duties. The project partner must make sure that there's a national controller that has been designated as soon as possible for its first expenditures to be certified as soon as possible. And also it must ensure that all the complete documentation related to the evolution of the project from each side is made available on time to the lead partner. The partner report is the reflection of the activities and the financial development of the partner. As I was saying, it is compulsory only for the partners who are reporting costs. In this document online that you can find on GEMS, the lead partner lists all the expenditures that it has incurred during the project, during the reporting period, and also the activities. For the JS, the only mandatory part is the first section, the report identification section. But the lead partner, if necessary, can ask for the rest of the parts if it wants to have more details as the work plan, for example. And this report identification section is includes a very basic summary of the work of the partner, the different problems and deviations that the project partner has found, and also the target groups that the partner has reached. It's not mandatory to give the information on the target groups, only if the lead partner considers it's necessary for itself. Which is mandatory, of course, if you are declaring expenditures. It's all the financial part of the partner report. So there's a section of list of expenditures where the partner can declare its expenditures. But before introducing those expenditures, it is important to look at the external contracts section. So for each expenditure that is linked to an external contract, the partner must, before everything, introducing the data of that contract in the contracts section. So in a way that every new expenditures listed, linked to a contract can be linked to a contract that has been introduced in the partner report. So this is always the first step to check, making sure that the contract is on the system. Then, as I was saying, all the financial sections of the partner reports are compulsory. The one about the contracts, the list of expenditures, the contribution section where the partner can introduce the different contributions that the partner has received during the period. So I'm talking about the co-financing, the 20% that is not indirect funds. And also there's a financial overview that is automatically filled. An important point and kind of a new thing for everyone is that now all the documents related to the expenditures have to be introduced on the system on GEMS. But at the end, the audit trail is always something linked to your national contact point. So it is the national contact point who must tell you which document you must include for every expenditure and the format that it wants. We, as a program, we recommend to include a zip file on the attachment section of its expenditure. An important thing is like once you are generating an expenditure on GEMS, first you have to save it, and afterwards you will be able, the system will allow you to introduce attachments. There's only one exception in here, that is the staff task assignment templates. Those task assignment templates, as we also check them as Joint Secretariat, we want to have them in the partner details section, which means that every partner of the project on its partner details section can upload the task assignment, referring to their staff. An important thing when reporting expenditures is looking at the sensitive data. This is a function that GEMS offers. If you activate sensitive data for expenditures, you will hide some information, mostly about the description of the expenditures, comments, and the attachments. In the project privileges section, it can be chosen for every partner which users should or not have access to this sensitive data. This possibility to see the sensitive data must be always activated for the lead partner, so the lead partner can always check the information on the expenditures and make sure that the expenditures are coherent with the different activities of the project. As you can see in the slide, you just have to click on the little thingy next to sensitive data in order to activate this availability for a GEMS user. So once the partner report has submitted its partner report with the expenditures and the activities, the control work can start by clicking in this Start Control button. The controller can introduce its work. The control report is divided in different sections. Control identification, part with general information, control checklist, where the controller can introduce more details concerning its work, expenditure verification, when the controller verifies the expenditures and add corrections if needed, control documents. There is a section where the controller can have document exchanges with the partner. And also overview of finalized, that is the final part that gathers all the information, and where the national controller can generate each certificate. A key point in here is the topic of the checklist. During control, 3 kinds of checklists can be generated. We have the control checklist, that is the one who includes the main work that the controller has developed during its certification. We have also external contract checklist. So if you remember before, I present you the contract section. So for every new contract that is added to the system, an external contract checklist must be done by the controller. So there should be as many external contract checklists as new contracts. And also when generating a checklist, there's a comment section. So we recommend the controller to include the code of the contract that the checklist refers to. And then we have the member state checklist that is only for Spanish and Portuguese project partners. We'll go more into detail about this function, but for reporting matters, the important thing is that the member state creates this checklist after the submission of the control report and before the submission of the payment claim. So this checklist must always be present on the system before the lead partner submits its reporting package. The lead partner must check and ensure that all checklists are complete and finalized before including that certificate in a project report. There's a very specific case because for the control checklist, the two first questions require a justification in case the controller replies yes to them. So you must make sure that if the controller has replied yes, and it should, that there's a comment. If there's not a comment, the lead partner should put itself in contact with the partner so it can be checked with the controller. Once the controller has introduced the control checklist and as many external contract checklists as necessary, and has checked all the expenditures and has completed the report, the controller must click on finalize, must submit the control report, and then afterwards it must generate a PDF document called National Control Certificate and Report. This document that is generated in the last section of the control report on GEMS, overview and finalize, includes basically it's a PDF version of all the different sections of the control report, plus a certificate with which the controller declares that the expenditures that he or she has certified are correct. So once the control report is finalized, then the controller generates this document on the system, and then this document must be downloaded, signed by the right person to it, and then uploaded again to the system in the same section. For the case of Spanish and Portuguese partners, the national authority will generate its own document after creating its checklist in the checklist section. It will be another report, another declaration from the lead partner, from the national authority, that will include also eventual corrections that ineligibilities that the national authority might have detected. It is very important, I will repeat it again, that the document, that the control certificate and report is generated after the submission of the control report. Otherwise, the document will appear as a draft document and it won't be valid. It must appear with a sentence saying control finalized. And for us, it must be generated after the finalization of the control. So a couple of points of attention. If there's not enough time to certify all the expenditures of the partner during the period, it's not a problem. Those expenditures can be presented in the next period or whenever it considers necessary. Part expenditures. So the national controller can decide that some expenditures get parked for the following period. So those expenditures that maybe they are right, but there's something lacking. If the lead partner, if the controller considers that they should be put apart, then the partner can present them again in a partner report. And if the national control certificate and report is submitted and needs to be reopened, an express request must be sent by the national controller to the lead partner and to the joint secretariat. An important point is also that in a reopened partner report, it is not possible to add new expenditures. So make sure when you are submitting a partner report, make sure that all expenditures are included there, because even if it's reopened, no expenditures can be added. It is not possible, of course, to include costs that have been paid out after the end of the reporting period of a progress report. Please, for more information, please check the national control guidelines. They are on the system. They will explain on the website of the program. They will explain into detail all the control work and all the duties of the controllers. And yeah, and now we're going for a little coffee break.
Yes, just a short comfort break of 5 minutes in order to continue on the reporting package. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, we gave you 1 or 2 minutes more. Axel, let's continue.
Yeah, and then if you thought that you didn't have enough about reporting, here I am to give you even more information. So, we already covered all the part of the partner. So once all the partner reports have been submitted and everything has been certified, the lead partner gathers all the partner's materials and creates the project report and submits the payment claim. What, as I said before, it's called the reporting package. That is this family of different documents that the lead partner must present in order to ask for the reimbursement of the expenditures presented by the partners. In the reporting process, the lead partner has a series of roles and responsibilities. Here you can see a list of all of them. I won't repeat all of them, but a key point is that the lead partner must ensure that the national validation from Spain and Portugal are available before accepting a certificate from a Spanish or a Portuguese partner. Also, the lead partner must ensure the existence of a tangible system to prevent double funding, and must make sure that the project expenditure exists for each project partners, and that the expenditures are coherent with the activities realized by the project. All these points that you are here, that you see in here, there are points that the lead partner must declare having taken into account when issuing its payment claim. Okay. No, because it's small. Well,
No.
this well, as I was saying, the lead partner gathers all the information from the different partner reports of the project partners and submits a project report. The project report is like the project equivalent of the partner report. It has a similar organization of information, but there are 2 versions of it, depending if the project is in partial reporting or in full reporting. Partial reporting is the reporting that the project must execute after periods 1, 3, 5, 7, and it's only it's a reporting that it's limited from the activity point of view. So the project report presented during partial reporting don't include the specific information on the work plan of the project and on the implementation of the work plan and on project results and horizontal principles. And then in periods 2, 4, 6, there's the full reporting. So in this full reporting period, the project report includes also a section concerning work plan and another concerning results and horizontal principles. Here you can see it clearly, the sections that are included during partial reporting and full reporting. The system does it automatically, so if you are in partial reporting, when creating a project report, the lead partner won't see on GEMS the work plan progress and project results and horizontal principles. I go back to this slide that I showed you before to show you how, if you look in this project reporting schedule, you can also see the type of reporting that you have to handle, let's say. So if you see that it says only finance, then it's partial reporting. If you see both, then it's full reporting. And then, of course, the last reporting, it's always a full reporting and final reporting. It's still on definition, it's still under development, but there will also be like specific questions for final reporting. So as for the partner report, the project report starts with a project report identification, which, as for the partner report, must include a summary of the highlights of the project implementation during the period. It also must include different problems and deviations that have been detected, what we call the project performance monitoring. And also in this section, only during full reporting, you must also include a few lines on the carbon footprint of the project in general, gathering all the information on carbon footprint from all the partners. And there's also a part concerning target groups, but this part must only be filled during full reporting. So during partial reporting, you only fill the highlight of main achievements and the project performance monitoring without mentions to carbon footprint. Then for the full reporting, as I was saying, there's additional sections concerning the work plan and project results and horizontal principles. In these sections, you will have to be a bit more specific on the analysis of the project performance, and you will have to bring comments for every objective of the work plan, of its work plan, and indicate the status on the development of your objectives and your activities. You will have to provide comments on your work package, on the activities, deliverables, investments, outputs, results, horizontal principles. Concerning horizontal principles, only in the final report. So during the life of the project, you don't have to give any comments on the evolution of the achievement of horizontal principles. And concerning outputs and results, you only need to write a summary on the evolution, but no quantification is required. You only have to give the numbers of the outputs and results at the end of the life of the project. Once you will see this section on GEMS, you will see that after the description of an output or a deliverable, there's a little icon. This icon is for uploading documents, and it's in this icon that you will have to click to upload your key deliverables and your outputs once they have been verified by the Joint Secretariat. But this is only the last step of a long way. because the key deliverables and outputs, what we call key productions, they must be verified on Basecamp before they get to GEMS. So here you can see the main evolution, let's say. So the project publishes on GEMS as soon as they are ready, the finalist version of their key productions, key deliverables. And then the GEMS Secretariat validates them or asks for corrections. If they are validated, then the lead partner must upload them in GEMS on the sections that I showed you before of work plan progress and the results and horizontal principles. And then we are working on that, but once they are introduced on GEMS, they will go automatically to the project website and our program's library of project results. However, this doesn't mean that you are not free to publish in your website whatever you can, wherever you want. Of course, you can publish on the website whatever you want. But some deliverables will be also checked by us, also for the means of our own program library. But if you consider that a key deliverable must be published on the system on your website as soon as possible, you can publish it on your side. This is only from our side. So once we validate a key deliverable, you publish it on GEMS in the closest full reporting, let's say. Then, of course, as you know, the key deliverables and the outputs and results feed some indicators that well, in your application form you have quantified, and you have to report on them. As I said before, you only have to give numbers at the end of the life of the project. So no figures must be given during the project and implementation. At the end of the life of the project, you will have to provide a proof of realization, for which we are developing a template right now, and it will be made available as soon as possible. For the indicators related to organizations operating across borders and organizations with increased institutional capacity, they follow a different path, as you can see there, with a declaration of partners and associated partners, that the declarations are already in the system, so it's not necessary to present them again, and a common survey to fill in that will be given to you. Here you can find a couple of tips for content reporting. It's very important to avoid a partner per partner approach when writing the activity part of the project report. Don't copy and paste the text that have been written by each partner. Just make a single story, a single text based on the information that the partners have given to you. In the section highlights of main achievements in the project report identification, clearly summarize what has been achieved during the 6 months of implementation, and of course include the good practices and any difficulties faced during project implementation. It's very important to be transparent with every problem, with every issue that must have happened during project implementation, also because we are there to help you and to work with you for its resolution. So it's important to include all the information and be honest and be transparent. Then, concerning financial reporting, well, the lead partner must select the certificates that will be included in the project report, and therefore for which the reimbursement will be required. The system has a particularity, because once you enter in this list of partner certificates section, all the certificates of the project are automatically selected, and if the lead partner wants one certificate out of the project report, it must click in order to remove that certificate. Of course, this system doesn't take into account if for Portuguese and Spanish partners, the national validation has been executed. So apart from the system, the lead partner must make sure that the national authority of Spain and Portugal has presented its certificate before letting a Spanish and Portuguese certificate enter in the project report. Then there's the financial overview section, which will gather all the information in all the expenditures that are included in this project report. This section doesn't allow the lead partners to see the expenditures themselves. The lead partner can only see the certified amount. That is why it's important for the project to do what we have asked during pre-contracting and has been explained by my colleague Pascal. That's why it's important to include the lead partner in all the partner profiles in the project privileges section. So the lead partner can see the partner reports of its partners and check the expenditures. Otherwise, the lead partner won't have access to the different expenditures of its partners. So please, for the lead partners, ask the approval of your consortium of this configuration of project privileges as soon as possible. Once everything is completed, once all the certificates have been selected, once all the information have been included, once all the Spanish and Portuguese validations are available, the lead partner can submit the project report in the last part of in the last section of the project report. And then afterwards, the lead partner must generate and upload a payment claim. The payment claim is a document with the list of duties of the lead partner that I presented to you before. It's a document that the lead partner must generate in the report exports section and then upload in the project report annexes section. There's no need for signature, it doesn't have to be signed. The lead partner must just download it and upload it. This will also work as some kind of signature. By doing this gesture, the lead partner is saying that it has performed all its duties during the evaluation of the certificates and in the creation of the project report. If there are any anomalies that have been detected by the lead partner, then there's another document, a report on ineligible costs that will be also generated in the same section as the payment claim. And there, the lead partner will be able to include all expenditure that should be corrected. And then we will take charge of it during our validation of the payment claim. Here you can see an example of the payment claim, how it includes all the duties of the lead partner. Okay, and then after this, once the reporting package has been sent, we pass to the verification by the Joint Secretariat. So the Joint Secretariat clicks after everything has been submitted, starts the verification just in the same way that the controller starts its certification of expenditures. Once we have started our verification, you can check how is it going by clicking in Open Verification Work. Then during our verification, we will eventually send you a document with a list of questions that you have to fill. And then these documents can be included in the verification communication section. It's a section for the exchanges between the Joint Secretariat and the lead partner. So through this section, we will upload the Q&A document with the questions for the partner. And then you will also upload your replies in a similar way as the pre-contracting grid. You will upload your replies and every necessary attachment. Then at the end, when we will have uploaded our final version of the Q&A with our verification of all your questions, then you can remove all the other Q&A replies that you have uploaded during the verification process. You will receive notification after every upload of documents. Once the verification is over, we have added every necessary correction indicated by the lead partner or by the national authorities of Spain and Portugal. A new section will appear for you, this overview that you will see like the final picture of the expenditures, of the validation of your expenditures. And then we will pass to the next step, to the payment procedures. As I said before, you can receive a series of notifications, for example, with the Q&A, with exchanges. Those notifications appear automatically in the dashboard section. If you want to receive them in your email account, you can activate this function on GEMS directly by clicking on your profile. Then another point is the daily monitoring. The daily monitoring is another part of the monitoring of the Joint Secretariat that is not attached to the reporting itself, but it's continuous during all the lifetime of the project. So during all the lifetime of the project, the Joint Secretariat gathers some information that help them to see if there's any problems to be solved or any intervention to be done. Our sources are the interactions of ourselves with the lead partner and also the interactions within the project partnership. Also, the material provided through project website and Basecamp, the key deliverables and outputs made available, and the interaction between thematic and governance projects. So we want you to be proactive. We want you to participate also in the activities that are indicated by the governance projects. We want you also to inform us every time that there's a problem, as I was saying before. If there's some risk to solve, if there's some problem, we can always organize ad hoc interviews, lead partner, Joint Secretariat, but also Joint Secretariat, lead partner, and any other involved partner if necessary. Do not hesitate to contact us if there's any issue to solve. Then there's another part that is Basecamp. I won't go into detail over it, but there's a tutorial that has been published on the system on our website, where you can find a list of folders that you should include in your Basecamp profile. Also, that will help us to do our work of evaluation of your key productions. So there, it will stay in the slide, so you can check it. But for details on that, just check the tutorial, then you will find everything here. In this section, we will basically approve your key productions or ask for corrections. And finally, I will end with a few details on the reporting and communication activities. For communication activities, the data will be provided once per year by means of an online form to be completed. The link will be provided by the Joint Secretariat. Around the beginning of the year, you will be requested to do that. And also concerning carbon footprint, on Basecamp, all the partners must upload the report that will be generated by the online tool for the calculation of the carbon footprint of your activities. And then, as I said before, based on the results, based on the reports generated by that tool, the lead partner must gather all the information and write a few lines during full reporting in the project monitoring section of the project report. So that's all from my part. And now let's pass to the Q&A. Thank you.
Only before starting, there are a couple of questions concerning technical aspects. So yesterday, our colleagues from the communication and IT team intervened. There is a generic email address to address all your questions about Basecamp, GEMS, on the website, everything go there. So, well, we get 3 questions about that. Please write to this specific email address and indicate your name and project because we can act. Okay.
Okay, so let's go to the questions now.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, for the reporting periods, I think that finally it was answered by Axel
Mhm.
with his slides, but for a 27-month project, you have 4 reports, 5 periods.
Mhm.
And for a 33 months project, you have 5 reports, 6 periods. Okay? Because the 2 last periods, 6 months plus 3 months, let's say, are together in 1 report. The last one, the report, gathers 9 months of reporting.
Yeah, the system included 2 last periods, one of 6 months and another of 3, but because the system didn't allow to make one single period of 9, so those 2 periods, they are actually fictional, and there's only one of 9 months. You can follow everything in the project reporting schedule section in GEMS.
And that's why you go from the 3rd period to the 5th. So it's yes, it takes all together, the 2 together. Is there a limit of or number of project partners, team members? Could you please answer to that?
Yeah. There's not a limit on partners team members, and also on GEMS, for example, when there's the project privileges section, and you must include GEMS users per partner. There's no limit in principle. You can just click on the plus button, and you can add as many people as possible as you consider. So there's not a legally binding limit of person.
No technical.
And not technical either.
Okay, there is a question on the FLC cost that could be higher than the one foreseen in the application form. Okay, then you can reorganize your budget and external expertise in function of the real cost, according to the real cost. The deliverables will not have to be published on GEMS, then only on Basecamp. It was answered, I think, already. So it's first on Basecamp, we validate, and then in GEMS during the full reporting period. Okay, the other question on GEMS and the infography, I think we just answered.
Concerning the expenditure flow and the expenditure claim, if a partner doesn't submit on time the payment claim, you have to wait the following one. So the idea is that you keep in touch in a day-to-day basis with your project officer, and in order to manage the situation. But once the period is ended, all material should be present and submitted. And then if additional things comes, we try to manage them. There was also a question about staff. We will go on the eligibility part, but about the task assignment template, there is no detail about the work packages. So you have to estimate the global percentage of participation of one staff member to project activities. Then the division between work package is up to each partner. And it doesn't have to be precise on the task assignment template. The template is already on the website. So if you have a look at it, you see that there is no mention about the work packages.
No.
Then the partner report is only compulsory in case of cost reported, and if there is no cost, it's free to each partner to ask it or not.
But an important point is that you cannot submit a partner report without expenditures. But if the lead partner considers necessary to have like the activities of a partner, you can just create a draft report and keep it draft without any adding any expenditure.
Okay. And for the process of expenses validation, yes, everything is done in GEMS, but in cooperation with your national with your national controller, you will see if there are specific obligations set out at national level as well. But all the documents, the official documents, the certificates, control checklist, etc., everything is in GEMS. Okay, we don't. Yes. Is there? Yes, the carbon footprint monitoring tool is provided by the program, so everything is there. We will put in the question here the link to the tool. We will give you the access to the tool once we have gathered all the contact details on the carbon footprint coordinator for the project in the project managers section in GEMS. I think that now we don't have any other question on this section, so it's time for Julia to go through the finance questions.
Thank you, Sophie. Good morning to everyone. I'm Julia Verbier, Financial Officer of the program, and thank you for attending this last but no less important part of the meeting. And I'm going to talk about three main topics, including financial flow, national control system, and eligible of expenditure. In this first slide, there is a summary on what have been already explained by my colleague Axel on the project life cycle, but with a special regard to the project financial flow, which start with the submission of the project of the partner report, passing through the managing authority payment until the accounting authorities, which is the key player in the payment workflow. In fact, is in charge to receive the Interreg funds from the European Commission, and on behalf of the program, pay the project partners. Let's focus to the national control system. As you can see, there are two types of national control system provided by the program, depending on each participant state. Briefly, I remind you the main difference. So in the centralized system, the control is carried out at national level through a public administration or audit firm acting under the responsibility of the participant state. So in this case, partners must submit their expenditure for verification to this body. In the centralized system, the control is carried out by the controller, which is proposed by the project partners and is approved by the body designated at the national and regional level. Today, we count nine participant states in centralized system and 7 in the centralized system. So we have also 2 regions located outside the cooperation area, which joined the program. After that, there is the the designation process. So partner has to appoint the national controllers, and here you have an overview almost detailed about the national controller designation procedure. You must pay attention because there are 2 different procedures from a participant state to another. What you have to do here is to be in contact with your national authorities and in which your country is, your structure is located. Keep in mind that all the information are always also published in our official website, where there is a section specially dedicated to the national control system. So you have the procedure also published in this section. I remind you that 2 methodologies are commonly used by the controllers to implement the control work, that it's completely performed in GEMS, These two methodologies are administrative control and on-the-spot verification. Of course, the scope of the control is based on the risk identified by the program, and the controller must check the compliance with the program and national eligibility rules. I remind you also that if you are setting up a public procurement to select your national controller, please keep in mind to provide to foresee an on-spot verification, because for this new programming period, it's strongly recommended at least once during the project lifetime, and it's mandatory if you foresee in your project any kind of investment. To appoint your national, during the appointment of your national controller, please keep in mind that some key competence must be ensured, including your controller. You have to be independent for the controller structure. He has to be qualified to carry out the control of expenditure, and at least he has to have a good knowledge of at least one of the language of the program. The documented reports are produced in the language of the program, so take in mind that. And there is, since last December, we published 2 practical guidance on the website in English and in French to help your controllers to implement the control works. So as I can say, the overall control work is performed in GEMS. So here I sum up the key principle of what the national controller has to check. So he has to check a minimum the following point listed in the slide. It's really important that you provide the most updated information concerning your project implementation. So I will explain later, but during the verification process, national control can ask you some documents to clarify some points, and you can exchange document in a dedicated section in GEMS. Here you have a sum up of the control process path, which starts with the project partner that submit to the national controllers the partner report by entering activities and expenditure on GEMS. Then the controllers can start the control work and can validate the expenditure. He can validate it, reject, or park in the expenditure, filling the related checklist or more checklists. It depends if the contract existing, and at this stage, how I did say before, you have to keep in mind that that national controllers can ask for clarification and extra supporting documents, and all exchange are made on the reporting section dedicated controls documents. From partners coming from Spain and Portugal, the expenditure have to be the expenditure certified by the controller must be validated at the national level through the submission of the member state checklist before the inclusion of the partners report in the project payment claim. So all these things to allow the lead partner to gather all the national control certificates and produce the reporting package, which will be assisted by the GS. Please remind that we don't need to receive any paper version. And keep in mind that in GEMS you have all the deadline referring to the project reporting periods. The project and the section, the name of the section is project reporting schedule section. Now let's talk about expenditure eligibility. Before starting, I would like to take the chance to let you know that a new chapter of the program manual concerning project modification and flexibilities is under approval by our monitoring committee, and it will be published soon. And it will include some key information. So I can tell you something. The current programming period, in the current programming period, there is 100% of flexibility for change between budget lines. Please note that it's a good practice to inform us about all change on the work plan that may lead to change between the budget line. And even if there is a flexibilities, some activity modification may have to be approved by the GS. So keep us informed about change and on the budget distribution per period, as the information is needed for the financial monitoring of the project. Here you find the general legal framework of the program. You can see that it's spread over 3 different levels of rules applying to the eligibility of expenditure. The most often used European regulation are the common provision regulation, RDF regulation, the Interreg 1, and the IPA regulation. Concerning tools and guidance, everything is available on our website, and eligibility of rules are detailed on the manual. So you have everything you need. And so please also ensure that your controllers have access to the latest version of the manual. All right. Unlike the previous programming period, there is no advance payment. No advance payment is foreseen by the program. So payments are set according to the regulation up to 80 days after the submission of the reporting package and payment claims. As far the information and material provided by the lead partner are complete, and of course the Q&A section is also closed. In the case of the joint secretariat ask for clarification during the payment claim assessment, the 80 days counter is suspended, so don't worry. Here you have the next slide, please. Here you have the 2 forms of reimbursement of the program, depending on what you choose in the very beginning of the project. You have the real cost that, as you know, it's he provides a complete audit trail, so project partner commit and pay expenditure, and also justify expenditure by means of invoice or any other equivalent accounting documents. Or you have simplified cost option, which include the cost for the preparation and contracting phase that are covered by a lump sum of 37,000 euro. The amount is increased compared to the previous programming period, and is fixed and compulsory for all projects and must be shared between all project partners according to the participation in the proposal drafting. There is no action needed by partners, lead partner or national controller at this stage. And after we have two different flat rates. And I suppose you know that the reimbursement is not subject to any control in regard to the incurrence and payment of the expenditure, except for flat rate for office and administration, because partners have to provide at least one contract or equivalent, and travel and accommodation, where partner must submit, must provide a document that at least justify one trip per project that have been realized. Nothing has to be referred to any amount. It's just a document like minutes or a report of the mission and so on. The next slide, here you have a time-wise perspective regarding the ongoing costs. The starting date of the expenditure eligibility is the date of the approval of the project by the program committee, and all operational expenditure must be related to the implementation of an activity carried out before the official end date of the project. So expenditure must be incurred and paid by the end date of the project, and any expenditure paid after this date, whatever the nature of the activity concerned, is ineligible. We can start to speak about the first. Sophie, the next slide, please. Yeah, pardon, sorry. Here we have the first cost category that refer to staff costs. So all staff employed by the partner institution for the implementing of the project. The amounts are reimbursed as real cost. We can speak about, we can say an hybrid approach, because no separate working time registration system is needed. The things that you have to keep in mind is that it's mandatory to complete the template, the task assignment template. So the document can be found on the official website of the program, and it's mandatory. So he has to be filled by the name, the surname, and please pay attention of the fixed percentage that must correspond to this, to almost one reporting period. It must be the same for for all 6 months. For the audit trial, yes, you have to provide to your national controllers the employee documents, the task assignment template that must be stored in the GEMS, and any pay slips or proof of payments or documents probative value. The second cost category refers to office and administration, and cover operating and administrative expenses incurred by the beneficiary and necessary for the implementation of the project. Remind that no detailed budget is required for this cost category, and partners do not have to integrate any expenditure in separated account of the project, and don't need to document or prove that the expenditure have been incurred and paid. The only things that the controller has to check is that no expenditure is declared as real costs. We go to travel and accommodation, which is the cost categories 3. Costs under this budget line refer to expenditure on travel and accommodation of the staff of the project partners institution for mission essential to the effective implementation of the project. Here you can see the list of the the points that can be covered by these cost categories. I just put the attention of on two specific cases regarding to the activities taking place outside the cooperation area. So all activities outside the program cooperation area, but in European Union are possible, but the Joint Secretariat must be informed. And all the activities taking place outside the program cooperation area and outside the European Union must indicate it in the approved application form and expressly accept by the GS. So here, depending of the calculation method chosen, you will be reimbursed according to flat rate or real cost. I remember you the flat rate advantage. You know that costs are automatically calculated by GEMS on the basis of the staff cost. No need to insert any expenditure declared as flat rate in to the separate account for the project. The controllers does not need to check the expenditure is incurred and paid, and partners don't have to document or prove that expensive has been realized. The only things that I said before, I also said before that following recent clarification from the European Commission, each partner must document at least one trip per project partner has been held. So any kind of document like mission report, recording of meetings or similar evidence, it's not about costs, but it's about activities. The fourth cost category is related to external expertise and service costs. So here we speak, it's about external expert and service providers contracted to carry out certain tasks and activities essential to the implementation of the project. For example, it's here in these cost categories that costs relate to the national controller must be included. And of course, depending of your national control system. For the audit trail, you have to provide an evidence of the selection process of the provider and the related contract or agreement. You also must provide any invoice or claim in accordance with the applicable accounting rules, any proof of completion of external expert work and service deliverable, and the related proof of payments. I remember you that for all expertise and external service of activities outside the cooperation area, the express approval from the GS is needed. We can go in the sixth, in the five cost categories that refer to any equipment to be used for the project management must be reasonable purchase at the beginning of the project. So partners should foresee the cost on a pro rata basis or according to a depreciation plan, considering the duration of the use of the equipment for the project activities. Here you have a complete key audit supporting documents, and please indicate in the application form all the investment and the budget. So you here in this particular case keep in contact with your project officer to have more information. The next cost categories include it's relate to infrastructure and work. The cost refer to infrastructures located and operated outside the cooperation area are ineligible, except for test project and pilot activities. So, okay. So the OT trail, it's you have to provide an evidence of the selection process, a written contract detailing good and service pricing, and a clear reference to the project, and there is a mandatory document that have to be complete, and it is the statement of capacity and compliance template. With principle for investment that must be signed by partners, stored in GEMS, and you can find the template in the program websites. So here I take 1 moment to make a recap, a focus to investments. Because they can affect 3 different cost categories and must be approved by the GS in the consolidated application form. The three different cost categories are external expertise and service cost, equipment cost, and infrastructure and work. In case of investment foreseen, take in mind that on the spot verification is mandatory. So take in mind this point. Any investment relate to pilot activities may include elements that belong to the cost categories 5, equipment and infrastructure of work, and any equipment must be included in the consolidation application form, and any equipment related to investment must be identified, such as in the consolidated application form. In the next slides, I want to put the attention on the external contract, outsourcing contract that must be in compliance with the program principle and the national public procurement rules to guarantee the eligibility of the expenses incurred. For this new programming period, and I like the previous one, there is no threshold to be respected. Please just take in mind that for each external contract, a corresponding external contract must be created in GEMS by the project partners and must be include the contractor data, and you have to link the contract to the expenditure items. After that, for each new contract, an external contract checklist must be completed by the national controls. And in this context, the program, however, recommend to not exceed the 50% of the partner total eligible budget for this line. And so be careful. Here there is I list all the activities which needs an express approval from the GS. So you have travel and accommodation and all the activities taking place outside the program cooperation area and outside the European Union. Just a second, can I have sorry. Outside the European Union are eligible if foreseen in the application form or expressly accepted by the GS. So on with the any expertise and service are eligible only if they are expressly accepted by the GS. And the same thing is for investments that must be included, really included in the consolidation application forms and accepted by the GS. And any product logo or movies or promotional items aiming to become a label or brand can be developed in a specific or exceptional case and shall be expressly accepted by the GS. All these documents have been, you have to store these documents in Basecamp. And well, they must be available to the national controllers during the verification process. A little focus on the AT. So according to the Article 64 of the Common Provision Regulation, value added tax is not eligible except for operation which the total cost is below and at least 5 million of euro, and where is not recoverable under the national VAT legislation. Take in mind that in the framework of Interreg Euromed, the VAT is always eligible as a part of the project expenditure with the total cost, as I say, except for all project partners with a grant under GBR Article 20 that cannot under any circumstance report the value added tax. Here we have the decommitment procedure that is laid down at the program level by the Article 105 of the Common Provision Regulation, and at project level by the Article 2 of the subsidy contract. During the project implementation, please ensure to do a strict follow-up of your consumption level to avoid a decommitment from the program. This last slide speak about irregularities. We define irregularity an eligible amount certified by the controller and verified by the managing authority, detecting after have been declared to the European Commission by the accounting authorities. So we can have two different situations because the irregularity can be detected as a result of any level of controls. For example, by your national controller, program bodies, national auditing bodies, and so on. In this case, the unduly paid amount is notified to the program by email and via a dedicated template, and the amount is corrected in GEMS by the GS through a specific workflow. This template is currently under development, but it will be published soon on our website. The second case in which can be detected irregularities is stated in the Article 12 of the subsidy contract. So this can be, here we can have two different consequences. The repayment can be done through the, if is the case on the ongoing project, the repayment can be done through the withdrawal of the irregular amount from a pending payment. We used to call it compensation. And in the other hand, in the case of a closed project via a formal recovery procedure, that it's really is very well explained in the program manual in the section I think recovery and unduly pay amount at page 130. Well, it's done by my side. Thank you for your the attention, and we will try to reply to your question with my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Julia. Yes, it's time now for the question and the last question and answer session. So you have quite some. Let's read them. Okay.
Only,
Okay,
there is one question about the organization of national meetings. National authorities are organizing meetings for national controllers. So this is the usual practice. It is not compulsory, so contact them. And during those meetings, the question about specific eligibility issue are tackled, especially at national level. So it is not compulsory, but it's we have it at the beginning of the programming period. It's quite the majority of member states that of participating states that do that.
Yes, but there are also some members, some participating states that are organizing some national info days for the partners. For example, Cyprus will organize one on the 27th of February for all the partners to explain the national procedure. So, of course, you are in contact with your national authorities, and they are contacting you to inform you about such national info days when this is organized. So there is a question about the reporting period. If we miss one, the cost corresponding to that period should be included in the new period or on the period where incurred. No, it's always on the period you are working on. So if you are in period 3 and you have some expenditure from period 1 or 2, you will put them in the report dedicated to period 3. There is no problem to include expenditure that were incurred in previous reporting periods. You cannot in the next ones, but in the previous ones you can. So yes. Then yes, we put you. Christophe has published the link to the tool for the carbon footprint. You can take it from there, and you will be granted the access soon. Project ending has to be intended as a due date for sending the final penalty by the lead partner, or 3 months period is still agreed to send the package. It's exactly why the last period is of 9 months, in order to have everything in one. We know that it was quite confusing for you in the previous programming period, 6 months plus 3, etc., etc., and for some payments. So now everything is in 9. This is why during the pre-contracting, your project officers has invited you to avoid having activities and main activities of the project in the last 3 months of the project timing, because in those 9 months, you will have to implement the last activities, to pay them, to certify them, and to submit the progress report and the payment claim. Okay, so we recommend you to stop the activities like 3 months before the ending date of the project, and to focus on those administrative closing procedures in the last 3 months. To upload a key deliverable is connected with a progress report. In GEMS, yes. So you put your key production, either the key deliverable or a key an output. Those are now listed in the pre-contracting phase. You are working on that with your project officer to identify those quick productions. You will put them on Basecamp. Your project officer will revise. and give you the green light or not, in order to finalize it. Then in next full report, you will upload it on GEMS. This means that afterwards we will use it for the program library. We will inform you about that in a few weeks as we are working on this new feature for the new program, for this program, linked to our Euromed Academy as well. So we will inform you on that. In any case, you can at any time publish your deliverables, either key or not, and anything else you want in your website freely and whenever you need and you want to.
However, publish your key deliverables on GEMS as soon as they are ready. So we can also check them when we do the validation of the
On Basecamp.
On Basecamp, sorry. Oh, sorry. On Basecamp as soon as they are ready.
Yeah.
So we can check them.
Yes.
And then in the following full reporting, if they are validated by us, yes, include them.
Okay. There is a question about the 100% flexibility, if it applies only between budget lines or also between project periods. It applies to both. But it doesn't apply between partners. Be careful. So always when we talk about 100% flexibility, it's within the budget of each partner of the project. If you have to make changes between partners, then we go to a modification of the application.
And in case of major deviation related to the forecast, bear in mind that the commitment is calculated based on your forecast. So if it's a major deviation, it must be linked to a major change of your project. So you should update the application form through a formal modification. But if it's a minor deviation, it will not impact the project forecast.
And there is a question about timesheets and specifically for researchers, but in general, let's say that for the program, we need only the statement, the task assignment template, sorry, the task assignment template with the percentage of dedication for the reporting period. This is what we request as a program in the audit trail. Anything else internally that you will need, you should do it internally, but it's not something that we will ask at the program level. To get the logo, sorry, I jumped in the last
Travel cost.
Yeah. What happens if the travel cost per semester exceed the flat rate of the 50% of the staff cost of the corresponding semester? Okay, nothing happens. we give you a flat rate and you do whatever you want with it. Sometimes it will, go higher than the forecast in a semester. In another semester, maybe lower. But I mean, this is at project level. It will have to be okay. And at partner level for the whole duration of the project. We don't ask you if you are in flat rate. In any case, we won't ask you to declare any expenditure on that or to give us any proof of the payments you have done related to travel costs. To get the logo design, is it possible to have an external contract with a design company or a professional design? We will give you the logo already in very different formats, colors, etc., black and white, on light or dark, found, etc. So don't worry about that. You don't need to contract anybody for the logo. The logo is given by the program to the project, and you will have all of them before the end of the month.
And the creation of a logo is ineligible.
Yeah, because we give it to you. Yes. How do you rate the indispensability of purchases? For example, is the purchase of PC for a new employee recruited for the needs of the project considered essential? It has to remain logical, let's say, and to show that it's linked to the purpose of the project and justified that it's linked to the need for the project implementation. Just to give you an example, if you have an average of 2 permanent staff costs dedicated to the project, you cannot ask for 5 laptops. You understand that there is something that is not reliable, let's say, on that. So it has to remain in a normal way and justify that it's for the need of the project. Should partners keep a hard copy of all the documents besides the electronic files at their headquarters, the signed ones?
Yeah, if
I-
the original is the hard copy, you have to keep the original hard copy. If there is a digital version, which is the original, for sure, please don't print useless material. But in any case, auditors will always go for the original one. And if it's not hard copy, it has to be stored in a well, how do you say, in a hard copy agreed as agreed as original according to your national law. So in some cases there are original copy which are considered hard copy also according to the national law. So this will depend on your national legislation then.
And then there is a question about the travel costs of associated partners. Let's remind you that when we talk about the travel and accommodation cost category, we talk only for travels related to the staff cost declared to the project, to the staff cost, to the staff, of the partner. So associated partners, any other external expert or invited to an event or something like that, the cost goes in the external expertise and services category. And then, so it's declared in real cost and not linked to the flat rate.
And then, well, for claiming cost of invited person or external expert, the national legislation always applies. So you have to respect the national threshold. If there is a per diem imposed, you have to respect the per diem. And we highly recommend you to buy directly the tickets and everything, because in that way you are sure that the audit trail is complete and the cost will be eligible. Because if something is missing about any transfer, you will lose the cost.
Okay, I don't see other.
We published the link of the event, of the staff assignment template. They are directly in the Q&R.
In any case, if you go on the website, on the documents and tools section, on the project implementation, you will find there all the templates that are available. Some, as we said, we are still under development. For example, on the express approval of some activities, etc., or the irregularities. So regularly, we will update this page with the new templates. We are developing based on the needs during implementation. Okay, if we don't have other questions, I think we are just on time to close this second day of the seminar.
Please refer to the manual, because there are many questions here which are answered black on white on the manual. So please read it or read it again if it's already done, because it's a formal document. It's approved by our member states, and they are aware about what is inside. And so all rules or exceptions are stated, and clearly the words are chosen. So please refer to Detroit.
Yes, you can refer back to those presentations also, as the information is given in a different format. Let's say that the manual, once we will publish them by the end of the week. And of course, your project officers are there for any questions, but please go first and read the manual before sending a question to your project officer. I know that is the easy way to do, I have a question, I just send an email to my colleague, to my project officer, which is part of your team, as we said. We know that it's easy, but you can understand that we receive each project officer has to follow several projects, and there are a lot of demands. So if we can avoid answering, this is written in page X of the program manual, we save time, and we can accompany you on questions that are not there, that are more difficult to answer, or situations that you have to deal with that are not easy. So please. So that's it for we have a last publication. No, it's you. Okay. Yes, the link to the manual. Okay. So thank you. You will be in contact with your project officers now, still on regarding the pre-contracting and contracting phase. So some of you will meet also together with the governance project and with the project officers during the next events organized by the governance project. So I'm sure that there will be also other occasions to meet in direct also, and in presence. And
well, only the manual is coming, it's under approval. It's the 8th version, it's the complete one, and it includes a closure chapter, modification chapter, and some amendments related to the regulation that appear in that were presented today. So we hope that in the 3 or 4 coming weeks, if we have many comments, or in the 3 coming weeks, it will be on the website in French and English. So let's hope that the written procedure will be fruitful.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.